Now, tell me, how many kids do you think under the age of 14 live in Wake County? Whatever you're thinking, more. 215,000 kids live in Wake County. Can you believe it?
We like to ride our bikes on the road sometimes, but most of the time we ride on the sidewalk. On a lot of our routes, there are no sidewalks. The roads with no sidewalks are usually pretty busy, like Carroll and Oxford. What we could do is add more sidewalks on busier roads. Let's stay safe. We need sidewalks to keep our roads awesome.
Sidewalks and biking lanes would keep kids dedicated space while they move around town, keeping them safe from crashes. When we're in school, so many kids walk or bike home, but we don't have enough areas to make that easy for them.
And when our main transportation method emits around 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide every year per vehicle, it's kind of a problem. Here I'm suggesting a simple thing: bike paths. Most cities are compact areas full of a variety of restaurants, museums, and parks. By connecting those restaurants, museums, and parks with bike paths makes traveling between them healthy, clean, and efficient.
More safer bike paths going into downtown and around downtown. I know we have a few, but they can kind of be scary and nerve-wracking for the parents and the children of younger kids. And so I think if we made a safer route to get in and out of downtown Raleigh, then kids could go downtown and meet up with friends safely without having their parents to worry.
1,373 people died in car crashes in North Carolina in 1 year. We need to keep kids safe and find a form of transportation solely for kids. We could make bike paths for kids to ride on or roads that are safe away from cars.
But where I live, there's not many sidewalks to bike on. In fact, in my neighborhood, there are no sidewalks to bike on. We should make more sidewalks throughout the city for biking to be more safer.
But if there's a kid younger than 13, how are they supposed to meet up with their friends after school? Parents would have to drive them everywhere, even if they trust their kids to be on their own. They need safer places. There needs to be safer places for kids to travel in bikes or just walk.
I believe that there should be better ways for kids to get around. As an example, to get to a friend's house without having to ask their parent to take them. There could be many things implemented, such as bike paths, buses, and other public transportation. Bike paths will be really good because it is a good way for kids to get exercise, and it's a lot better for the environment compared to buses and cars.
It's hard to use roads while being safe without sidewalks. Think about it. Cars, trucks, and speeding drivers coming around every corner. Small kids focused on playing and unaware of their surroundings. It is very easy for that to end badly. Many neighborhoods don't have sidewalks, including mine. To make Raleigh ideal for children, sidewalks need to be added in neighborhoods to ensure kids' safety. Now tell me, would you feel safe as a kid in Raleigh?
My name is Emma Grace Coker Phillips, and I am here to say climate change is bad. We need to change it by riding our bikes more, by walking more.
We need more green space downtown especially. There aren't many places, like playgrounds and parks with actual equipment, where kids can go outside and enjoy the sunlight while making friends. Places like this would also bring life to the city. In times with COVID and kids not being able to go places, having areas like this would be very beneficial.
One thing I would do to help parks teach kids more about nature and become better is in the middle of every park in Raleigh, I would add a little river with a canoe so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. But that's not the best part. There will also be lots and lots of different animals along the way. Animals such as birds, butterflies, ladybugs, frogs, and more, all around you, surrounding you, so that you can study them.
We should have more parks, and I don't mean just playgrounds. Parks in nature, recreational areas, places like Umstead, just out in nature. We need to allow more recreation outdoors. If we do that, kids have more options to be out in nature.
The city should put in green spaces for the sole cause of improving air quality, because over a year, a single tree can filter out more than 48 pounds of carbon dioxide. It's proven to work and be efficient as well. So I propose that the city should create more outside, kid-friendly events in order to help increase the health of all of its citizens by encouraging them to go outside.
For then, we need to plant more trees. Trees give us more oxygen that we need to survive. It's something that we need.
How many people do not have things like sports equipment? I think that free or cheap rental service in large parks would be a great way for kids to be able to play things like baseball or football with their friends at a park.
There aren't many playgrounds downtown, so the Parks and Recreation Department could turn empty lots into beautiful parks with tables and trees for kids to hang out at.
But is there really anything to do there? A patch of grass is not that much fun to play in. I think we need to strive to provide more playground structures and parks versus just patches of grass. Therefore, kids can become more excited to get outside and get active.
Another idea would be have rentable bikes in a smaller size so that kids could ride them.
And what I think Raleigh needs more of is skate parks. If you can see, I skateboard and I rollerblade. So there's a reason for in my life, I think there should be more skate parks.
I think that there should be a small-scale outdoor theater. There could be live music, which would be good for adults to listen to while kids run around and play with friends. There could also be plays, which would be good for kids to participate in or just watch. It could also be used for events and shows.
Because of COVID, we have realized how much young kids making friends matters. Since they're not in school, they aren't doing this, and it will affect them. In fact, it already has. Many kids have received worsened anxiety over the past year because of COVID. We need to take steps to solve this, and one such step is offering more places where kids can meet up.
I would build a big, lot of pick, cook, eat restaurants where kids would pick organic vegetables. Then they would get to cook with their families and professionals. Then they get to eat delicious meals with their families.
To make and take care of more community gardens where homeless people can get food to eat. Some cities already have some gardens like these, but they are rarely taken care of.
A junior city council with kids elected from each district could talk to the city council about the issues for kids in Raleigh.
The city of Raleigh has a city council, but the opinions or views of adolescents are rarely taken into consideration or even mentioned. Many people think that adolescents and teens are too ignorant, naive, or uninformed to work in the government, but that simply isn't true. What people forget is that when we are 18, we'll be able to vote, and only a year before that, when we were 17, most of us will have no experience whatsoever with any type of politics. Having a subboard of elected students from different high schools would allow the city council to take on the account of the views of the youth in their city, or at least hear us. It would also be a great way to get kids excited and ready to vote when they turn 18. Thank you so much.
And it's always good to have a good kid in there.
In conclusion, I think that better parks, bike paths, and outdoor theaters would make Raleigh a much better place for kids so they can socialize without having to talk through a screen.
Having more outside areas, dedicated space for kids walking home like bike roads and more sidewalks, as well as offering more space outside of school for kids to talk, and this will make a large difference. The future generation is in our hands. It's about time we give them something good to build off of. Thank you.
If you saw a city without these things, would you want to live there or in the new and improved Raleigh?